Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's your host, Alex Koons. I'm sitting here at Pie to Pie. No, I'm sitting here at Hot Tongue Pizza, and what am I bringing you? Another episode of Pie to Pie. We sat down with Janet from 550 out there in Laredo, Texas, and we spoke about mentorship right away. She has a great story of how she got started and how she got into her own situation with no other partners. Her journey as an entrepreneur, and like entrepreneur stories that you hear all the time, there is ebbs and flows. We talk about the downs, we talk about the outs, we talk about having to give up everything to restart all over again. And Janet is no stranger to struggle. We talk about how social media can be a vehicle in getting your brand out, not just to your neighborhood, but worldwide. Her journey is an incredible one. I'm so glad that Janet had a little bit of time on her quick trip to Vegas out there. It was a great conversation, one that I know is going to resonate with a lot of you out there. Janet, thank you so much. Taylor Swift Forever, 550, Laredo, Texas. Janet Zapata. Let's go. Pardon the interruption, but we need to take some time to mention our sponsor, Maestro Sausage. Maestro has been working closely with pizzerias for decades. They produce sausages designed specifically with pizzerias in mind. And you can tell, their Italian sausage crumbles look like they were handmade in your shop, and they will taste that way as well. With over 80 years in business, family owned and operated, the family is incredible, and so is their product. It's quality sausage with quality ingredients. If your sausage needs aren't hitting all the right notes, then let Maestro lead the way. Click the link in the show notes. A classical masterpiece awaits you. Back to the show. So I'm going to start off with mentorship. How important has mentorship been to you? Like, I read about your relationship with your
former boss.
Yeah, your former boss. Who like really believed in you. Like, not everyone has that. So what has that meant to you, and like maybe how have you become that for other people?
His name is Jeff Trevino. He took me under his wing. He showed me how to make pizza. Actually, I learned to make pizza on my own by watching them. But once I told him that I knew how, he was like, you shouldn't even be a cashier anymore. Like, you need to be on the line making pizza. And I was slow at it, but he's like, it's going to take time. And I used to tell him like, oh, I want to do this. And he's like, one day you're going to have your restaurant. And I would like just roll my eyes and be like, with what money? You know, I'm so sure. Like, how? But he would always tell me, you need to write your ideas down on a notebook. Write every single thing down. So when you have your own pizzeria, you're going to have it exactly like that. And he actually let me do a lot of things in his business, in the sense of, like, I had ideas of coupons and, you know, little things like that, helping students out. And he would tell me, like, go ahead and do it. Like, how much is it to print those things out? Okay, do it. And I would go to we have like a parade every year in Laredo. And I would go give coupons out, even though I wasn't allowed to, because you can't be just walking the parade with other people.
Yeah.
But I would find a way to support his business, because I believed a lot in that pizzeria. So yeah, he means a lot to me, and he knows how much it means a lot to me to be able to accomplish my dream of owning my own pizzeria.
Do you still write down your ideas?
Yes, at times. I'm
a
scatterbrain.
Now you just implement them right away.
I'm a scatterbrain. I do write my ideas down. I write my ideas and my goals, because I have to. If not, I'm like everywhere.
Yeah.
My mind's like, what? So.
Yeah, well, with a business, like, it's constantly running, you know? Like, you're not there right now, but I'm sure you're thinking about it,
oh, yeah,
you know?
100%.
How old is the shop? I know it started around COVID.
Yes, so I'm about to have 4 years in June.
So you obviously have, like, created a management team that you feel great about.
Yes.
Because you're sitting right here with me.
Yes, in Vegas.
Yes. Have you taken anybody under your wing, like you
to show them the
like? Do you see yourself in anybody at your shop right now?
At times I do, but I always tell them to study.
Yeah.
You know, and if they want to do what I do, I always tell them, of course you can. You could learn anything, you know. Just get your degree first. Just have that, you know, study business. Because there's little things that I'm still learning. I'm 4 years in the business and I'm still like, what, you know?
Yeah.
So there's a guy there that.
So you're like, stay out of the restaurant business. This is terrible.
I'm like, wait till I'm 84.
Yeah.
And then you could take over.
Yeah, oh, that's what you want. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, or you could just open up like 15 and you could be like, yeah, you can have this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's one of my goals, yes. To sell it to franchise to one of my employees.
Yeah. What do they, I like calling that franchising.
Franchising.
Yeah, instead of franchising.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that first shop that he sold to you?
Yes.
So you were a co-owner, and basically, I didn't get all the details. I obviously read the PMQ interview. I did some research. It doesn't sound like it went too well.
So
It wasn't going well. But you had worked at this place for 7 years?
Yes.
Okay.
I worked there for 7 years, and like I said, Jeff would always show me the ins and out of the restaurant, of the business. I was actually working 2 jobs. I was working at a news station, and I was part of the parade at that time. And he calls me during the parade, and he's like, "Hey, Jan," and I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "I'm gonna leave. Do you want to buy my business, my half?" And I'm like, "Jeff, dude, I don't even know what I'm doing." Like, and he's like, "Yes, you do. You've been running this business for me. Like, they ask for the owner, and they look for you." So I'm like, "We'll talk about it afterwards." I get to work, and he's like, "This is how much it's gonna cost." And I'm like, "Oh my God." So my husband at the time, I had to talk to him about it, and he was like, "Let's do it." Dude, I was like, what? Like, I don't know how. Like, I was too nervous for that. But I was like, screw it. Like, I'll figure it out. When I want something, I'm gonna get it. So I end up purchasing that, and my business partner, which I will not mention his name, he was kind of like everything, all my ideas were gimmicks, or he was like, ugh, whatever, or I would tell him, hey, we made this much on a Friday night. And it was always like, oh, okay. Like everything was always like, so who cares?
Was
like,
he an active owner? Like,
yeah,
was he in shop with you?
No.
Okay.
He was just the silent
Got it.
partner that was not silent enough,
Yeah.
so.
The loud, silent partner.
Yeah, the loudest one.
Yeah.
So something happened in the back, and he called me one day, and he was like, "You better get your employees." Like, he just started telling me off. And my daughter heard that. And my daughter was super small at the time. But I remember her like looking at me, and I was like, I am not going to allow him to speak to me like that. I don't want her growing up thinking that it's okay by a man or a woman, you know what I mean, to ever get spoken to like that. So I remember walking in that day, and I tell my employees, which are my friends now, and I tell them, like, we're going to close Laredo Pizza Factory today. Today's the last day. And they're like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, everybody was in shock, but they were all so young. They had their whole lives ahead of them. And it was like super weird because I had to tell my customers that day, like, hey, I'm closing. And
You just like
yeah,
you had
like
that,
literally
wait,
from one day to the next.
You had that phone call, and you're basically like, fuck it.
Yeah, like,
it's
fuck
over.
this. Like, and I remember calling Jeff, and he's like, don't worry, you'll get your own restaurant one day. And I'm like, I was crying and crying. Like, I've worked my ass off to get where I'm at. Like, from cashier to,
You've been there for 7 years or 8
yeah.
years at that point.
But I just felt like, hell no, dude. Like, no, like, and I'm gonna do it myself. And
did you have to have a conversation with him and be like, I'm not doing this anymore?
Yeah.
Like, and he was like,
Yeah,
fine,
and-
close
yeah.
it. He was like, fine, close it
He's
down.
like, close it. He's like, let's see how your employees are gonna, what they're gonna do with the rest of their lives. You're gonna let them lose their job. And I was like, dude, they're super young. Like, they could go find another job. And
Were you guys 50-50?
yeah,
It was weird because it sounds like he's like talking to you. Obviously, he doesn't respect you. Obviously,
No,
right? So then he's talking to you like an employee.
yeah.
Did he just have disposable income, or did you guys sell the business?
He had disposable income. Yeah.
So he didn't give a shit.
Yeah, he was just like, close it down. I feel like he didn't take me serious in the sense, like, I didn't have the money he had. So he was probably like, she'll come back. She'll come back to me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And hell no,
So what happened to that spot? You just closed the business and that was it?
Yeah.
Did he reopen?
He rented it out to do something else.
Did he own the building?
Yeah, he owns the building till this day. Yeah, and now he rented it out. He rented it out to make something else, and it failed also. And he rented it out to somebody else now.
And then how long had you been an owner before that you had to make this decision?
It was about 8 months, and literally the next day, I took a picture of my logo at the time, and I said, I'll be back one day, Laredo, but with my own shop by myself. I still have the picture. And then everybody was like, what? Like, what happened? And this and that. And I started making pizza from home the next day it's not an uni oven. I think I can't remember the name of the oven.
Is
But
it a rock box?
Rock box, yes, there we go. And
What up, Gosney?
So yeah, I'm like, thank you, shout out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made pizza from home, like literally the next day, and it took off from there.
Really? It's just so you started selling from home.
Yeah, I started selling from home. It was so wild because to get cheese, to, I mean, obviously there's grocery stores, but everything was so expensive.
Yeah.
And then I found out about the Restaurant Depot, and so it all
Things changed there, yeah.
Yeah.
What was it inside of you? Because like, well, a lot of people, when you get your face kicked in, or like you have a situation that goes that sour, that can destroy a lot of people, you know? But like, what was it inside of you that basically made you wake up the next day and like just start blasting out pizza from a rock box? You know what I mean?
You just don't stop. When I Janet Zapata want something, I get it, and because I work hard for it, not just because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get it. I work my ass off to get where I'm at, and I always believed in myself in the sense to have a restaurant. Even if I don't believe in myself at the time, I always remind myself, like, dude, you could do anything you want, anything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know you've talked about like prayer and manifestation and all that kind of stuff. And, like prayer is a lot like manifestation in a way, because you're talking to God or whoever, and you're asking for things and you're putting those things out there. Has writing those ideas down or like that kind of positive mental attitude been a huge driving force of your success?
Yes. Oh, yeah. You had asked me if I write my ideas down. I do. Sometimes, obviously, you have them in your head and you're like, okay. But I write the most important things down for me. It's like, so I suffer from anxiety. So my dream is to be able to speak to people at 550 with mental health issues, where I'm good enough in my health where I could give you advice or talk to you or pray for you, while having a slice of pizza. That's my goal in the long run, to be able to do that at 550.
I mean, you seem like a pretty good public speaker.
I'm not.
You don't think so?
No.
Like once we get in a room full of people, like is it kind of like
turn red? I'll start crying.
Oh my gosh!
I'm like, why am I crying?
I don't know.
I have no
idea. Well, you fooled me. But I guess there's only 4 people in this room.
Yeah.
I want to take a moment to talk about our sponsor, MailWise Solutions. MailWise Solutions takes advertising to the next level. They design, print, and direct mail, menus, flyers, and postcards for pizzerias all across the United States. I've worked with MailWise before. I tried to design my own menu, and Kevin said, hey, give me a stab at this, and holy shit. When he sent me back the menu, I was like, I thought I was okay at what I did, and his design team blew me away. There's no mailing contracts, so you're free to advertise on your own schedule. Click the link in the show notes or request a sample pack at mailwisesolutions.com. Let's get you some new customers today. So how have you leveraged your passion for pizza and partnered with the products that you want to? Because obviously, like, I've seen you with like the red chef coat on with like, I don't know if you have endorsements by like Corto and stuff, but like, I know Hobart gave you a free mixer, and like that's no small thing.
That's a car.
It's a car. It's a nice ass car that they just like dropped off. That's probably gonna last longer than me and you.
Yeah.
Those Hobart mixers some of them are from the prehistoric age.
Yep.
Like those things go. And I know you have, a good relationship with Baccio, but a lot of, I think, restaurant owners don't know about like how to build those relationships with those companies. If you have like any advice on maybe like how you have built such great relationships with them and like things that other people could do.
I think you just need to be yourself completely. Have the passion for it. If I believe in this product from this mic, I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tag. Obviously social media is a big part of all of that. I try to tag them because I always think if that person of Hobart, the person that started Hobart, can make it this big, I can too. And I'm able to help somebody in the long run. When I'm big enough, I'm going to do it. I try to help out as much as I can right now. So I always believe in those in those things like that. And Baccio too, they believe in me a lot. I'm like, can I take this off?
Yeah, of course.
It's like making it like jingling. So yeah, Baccio is my favorite cheese. I've gone through so many cheeses, and I'm like, okay, that's a product I really believe in, and I'm going to put their name out there too, as much as I can.
Do you think it like that was? Is that like the secret sauce? Like literally just harassing them on the internet?
Yeah, it's funny because
It's like me. I'm over here. I'm over here. I mean, that's a good. It's a like a lot of people don't realize that like we all want recognition, right?
Yes.
Everyone wants to feel like you're doing something different or like you want to be recognized as whatever it is you're doing. But I think we forget sometimes that like you have to jump up and down to get the attention first.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And doing it, I would just tag them, and it was in my head, it was never like, oh, I hope they bring me a free mixer, or like, no, you know what I mean? But when they told me that they're like, oh, we're gonna take you this mixer, 60 quarts, and I was like, oh, okay, like, and then I'm like, hey, Miguel, what is a 60 quart mixer? I'm like, I'm like, how big is that? He's like, it's this big. I'm like, what? Like, so when they brought it, I was, dude, my face was like in shock there at the shop. I was like, what? How is this gonna? My shop is really small. My kitchen is really small, so we made it fit.
Yeah,
I made it fit.
That's a tool you want to make fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Do you know how many quarts your other mixer was prior to that?
It was like 25. Oh, 20.
20 quart mixer. So yeah, you can do like one batch of dough instead of 3 or 4.
Yeah. Or they make 2 batches at the same time and we're done.
Yeah. Like done. Well, that's pretty awesome. I mean, like that's kind of how is that kind of how like the PMQ cover came about too?
Yeah. I used to another manifestation. I used to write that down. Like, one day I'm going to be in the front cover. One day I'm going to be in the magazine. Like, one day I would tell my former boss, one day you're going to be in it. And he'd be like, nah, you're going to be in it. And I'm like, okay, how? And then I would tell my business partner, I would tell him like, Miguel, I would tell him, one day I'm going to be in the front cover. One day that's my dream. That's my dream. That's one of my goals. I want them to know about Laredo, Texas. It's a small town.
Yeah.
And well, it happened. And when they messaged me about it, I remember being like, what? I was inside the walk-in. I was like freaking out. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you've caught our eye. I'm like, oh, thank you.
What's the relationship you have with the news? Like did you work for, were you an anchor or something?
No, I used to do production. I was there for 14 years.
Okay. So
on and off.
So you have a very good relationship because like you can Google your name or like 5550 and it's like, it's like every news, like anything, something happens there. It's like, it's breaking news. You know what I'm saying? I was like, how is this, like, to me, it's like, I don't know. Like, it's like you started also just like popping up in my feed too. And I was like,
that's what people have told me.
I was like, this woman is working hard. Yeah, like this person is like putting out content. Like you're in the news, like you're doing your shit. And it's like, you have to like stop. I had to stop and be like, yo, what's up with, and then but then you read about you and like, there was just, you can tell that like, one, you truly believe in yourself. And two, like you go out and you get what you want. Mm-hmm. And that's something that most entrepreneurs, like it's in our blood, right? But I don't know, there's something real positive about you. Like even just getting to meet you, like, can you speak on like that? I mean, like obviously that connection is good, right? And you use that. The 14-year relationship with the media is pretty great.
Yeah.
But how does that help the business? When you get written up about, like, every time, do you get more customers? Like, that's better than any influencer, in my opinion, coming in.
I used to want a restaurant. I used to want to be a journalist. But I headed into a different direction, and I was like, that's crazy how you let me work for so many years for a purpose because you were going to help me get 550 out there. Not just in Laredo, but across the country. You know what I mean? Working in the news, and it has helped me a lot. I have a lot of friends there. But and it's not always like, oh, I'm having a sale or I'm having a special and everyone's like, oh, let me put it on the TV station. They come to me and ask me like, hey, today's National Pizza Day or whatever. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm having this. And they want to write about it. Yeah. There's other local pizzerias there. And I don't know why they don't come in contact with me. I've always wanted a little pizza fest in Laredo. I guess you have to push for what you want. And I mean, and my goal is to keep growing, to have many pizzerias out there.
I guess it's like really interesting that like, you did this one thing for 14 years and then how maybe it affected this other thing that you didn't even know. Like, you can talk about, God's plan or fate or
Yeah.
like energy, whatever it is. But it's like it's always just sometimes I get goosebumps like listening to people's stories because it's like, damn, that's like
I worked at a bar.
crazy.
I worked at a bar also. I was working at the news station. I had a second job at the bar, and that's where I met my former boss. Like he was literally looking for a cashier, and my business partner was at that bar, the other one, and he was just like, let me talk to her. And he told me, he's like, I like the way you talk to customers. Like, do you want to be a cashier? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, sure. If I could pick up my daughter at 3 p.m., then yes.
That was the
No,
only
yeah.
that was the only thing.
Yep.
And then did you leave news production to go?
No, I was still.
You're still
yeah.
doing that. Mm-hmm. How many other jobs are you working right now?
I know.
Is it just the
that's
pizza
it.
place?
That's it.
Okay. What is the plan? Do you have a plan for expansion?
My goal right now is to get my food truck started.
Okay.
To travel across Texas. My dream's to have a restaurant in Dallas, Texas, and
How far is Dallas to?
it's about an
Laredo?
8-hour drive, so
Okay.
it's 444 miles.
It's long.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to expand in Laredo, have another restaurant, because I need a bigger place.
Would you keep that one and
Oh,
like change the
100%, yes.
concept to something else or like a slice? But you don't do slices, do you?
No, and the food truck's gonna be a slice.
Okay.
Yeah, slices. Yeah.
Is there any movement on that, or that's just like the next step, the food truck?
I'm like, I already bought my food truck.
Did you?
Yeah. Now they're gonna wrap it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And buy another oven, because I need another oven at $550.
All right. Who's gonna give Janet an oven?
Pizza Master.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna flip open my Instagram in 2 weeks, and you're just gonna be standing next to a brand new Pizza Master, and I'm gonna think, what am I doing wrong? What is my problem? Have you used the Pizza Master?
I used it here last year, and damn, they're awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty sick. The pizza community out there, you said there's some other pizzerias. Like, is there anyone doing anything like you're doing, or is the pizza community very similar? Or you said it's a small town, so
Yeah, no, there's 4 other local pizzerias there in Laredo, but I haven't really seen any movement from them,
Do you know any of those people? You guys have
We've crossed paths before, but
but it's kind of like
yeah, and I'm
really.
just, and
Is
I'm
it
like
that. Oh,
I'm like, what?
you guys should meet and go hang out.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Can you tell me about the culture of your shop? Like, it seems, again, I make all of my opinions off social media, but it seems like your staff adores you. Like they genuinely like you, or you pay them really well to
like
make
me,
it
yeah.
look like it on Instagram. Can you talk about like the culture and how you've built it at 550?
I'm very real to them. They do get paid well, but I tell them I used to be an employee too, so I know what it is to work hard. I know what it is to be tired or not to want to come into work today. I get it. I've been there. I've worked in many places, as you know now.
Yeah.
And so I treat everybody as equally as I can. They ask for days off, and I give it to them. I work for them, or I try to treat them every month or every so often to bowling. Or 2 years ago, I was able to bring them all to Pizza Expo.
Your whole staff?
Yeah, we had to close, but I don't think I'll ever do it again. Not right now.
How many people? That's insane.
It was like 7 of them.
Dang.
Yeah. And things like that. I've been an employee, so I get it. I get all of that, and I always remind myself to pay it forward, because we don't know what someone's going through, and if I could just help them smile for the time being, I'm gonna help them do that. So
You're not gonna yell at them.
no, I don't yell at them. No.
Stop crying.
No, stop
Get
crying.
on the oven.
I'm like, I need those salads now.
Your tears are messing up with the salt content in that cheese pizza. Do you run your own social media?
I have a marketing manager, and me and her have a meeting every month, because I'm very specific in what I want to put out there. So.
Yeah. Does that person work at the pizzeria too?
No.
Okay, so that's so that person runs all of the Instagram.
Yes.
Okay, so like
I text her every morning.
Okay, yeah, or so is there timed posts and stuff? It's like you just don't have to worry about any of that.
I don't, but I do.
Yeah.
It's like today I was like, she's like, let's post a picture of you getting to Vegas. I'm like, okay, so let's take a picture really quick, at the airport.
Yeah.
And I sent it to her, and then I'm like, what are we gonna write? Things like that. I try to look them over every single day because at the end of the day, it's my shop, and I want it to be what Janet likes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, like one of my favorite reels is the Halloween reel. I think the wee 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 wee.
I always sing that song.
I was like, I saw that and I was like, holy shit! Like I think I do a pretty good job with my reels on Hot Tongue, but I was like, oh man, I got work to do. Like, but how long did like that reel take? Is you're like looking like a movie quality of like different shots?
No, it literally took us about maybe 30 minutes. We put blood all over each other, and it was literally across the street from 550. 30 minutes and maybe like a day for it to edit, and that's it.
And that was the same social media manager?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that a real cop car?
No, it was. There were lights.
They were just flashing lights.
Yeah, we have some.
I'm trying to remember like the whole reel. It was just so good.
Shout out to Ariana Perez.
So she come up with the idea, and then she's like, "This is what you're gonna do."
Yeah. So she'll
let me buy some costumes from Amazon.
Yeah.
And it's go time.
we both every month we have the meeting. So I'm like, this idea, and then she's like, these ideas, and then we're like, okay, we could only do this certain amount, and perfect.
Well, it's interesting because I think like that kind of stuff. Yeah, I've talked about this before. Somebody has this guy named Chadwick from Tudo's in Los Angeles said that like Instagram is really more of a tool to build your brand and maybe not always just get an influx of customers. And like it's that kind of content though that's like maybe it's not getting a customer in like or new customers right away, but like that was like one of the things I saw.
Stop and look and
yeah,
like, hey.
But that's like nationwide stuff though, and it's like oh man, like. I want to follow for that content, and then like if I'm like what is the closest city to Laredo? Am I saying
Laredo.
Right? Laredo.
Yeah, San Antonio.
Okay.
It's about 2 hours away.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more of a metroplex though. Ours is San Antonio.
Okay.
Ours is a little city.
San Antonio's got the Riverwalk.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been to San Antonio. You are crazy and don't do third-party delivery.
Ooh, we want the vegan meats. We want the vegan cheeses.
Are people coming up to you and asking you, do you have vegan options? Do you have vegan meats? Well, guess what? A lot of them are not that good. But there is one that reigns superior, and that is Beehive. Everything that they make at Beehive is levels ahead of what you can get in a grocery store. Their pepperoni, their crumbled sausage, their cheeses. There is no contest. And the owner is one of the coolest people I have ever met. They make incredible products that go on your pizza, and it is dope plant food. That's what they call it, and that's what it is. Beehive, the best. Look no further. It's Beehive, baby. Straight out of Nashville. Good people, great product. Check them out.
Well, I just started Grubhub.
Oh.
Yeah, I just
working
started.
with the devil
I
now.
have like 2.5 weeks of them.
And how's it going?
It's going pretty good, but people still pick up.
Really? Mm-hmm. Do you think that'll be like a time thing where they realize that like, oh, they got Grubhub? I mean, I would hope that they just stay picking up.
I don't know. I've had a customer that says, I was thinking about it, but I'd rather just come pick up. I'm like, oh, okay. So I've had people ask me like, when are you going to deliver? But it's not to the, I was just like, oh, later. I mean, 4 years later.
Yeah.
I decided, okay, let's do Grubhub. But I get maybe 4 or 5 orders a day.
Did making that decision, was that a hard decision?
Yes.
I mean, to go without a third-party delivery for 4 years is, most people would be like, yo, that's wild.
Yeah.
Because like they own the share of what used to be the strongest delivery restaurant and model being pizza, and they've kind of destroyed it. And because now everything from a bag of Skittles at 7-Eleven to like your groceries can be delivered.
Yep. It even says like, you have 10 minutes to add.
Yeah.
Like something. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's like it's also hard to compete with the like all the tech that they have because it's not even worth building your own app.
Yeah.
But was there a reason why you didn't want to do it? I mean, like it obviously wasn't hurting your bottom line, but like
I just before I started 550, I ordered a pizza from many different pizzerias there in Laredo with different companies. Delivery services, and I didn't like the way they would get delivered. The pizza would come like to the side, or You know, it's just very different from you taking it home to somebody else taking it for you. If you take it home and it squishes, well, I mean,
It's your problem.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, but
Keep it level. Come on.
yeah, get it together. You know, but if somebody delivers it that to you, like that product like that to you, and I'm like, oh, that gets on my nerves because I've used those delivery service many times, and like I said before, and I said, you know what, I'm not gonna do that. Plus, they take a lot of money from you.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
So was there a long and
Yeah.
drawn out back and forth with Grubhub and
Oh yeah, DoorDash, and I was like, yes, no, and then I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna do it. No, I'm not gonna do it. And then again, no, like screw it. It's the holidays, I'm gonna do it. People are gonna want. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. And this time around, I was like, okay, I have to do it. Like I need to do it. People are asking for delivery, and it's been 4 years. I'm like, okay, and I signed off on it, and I'm like, no contracts. I'm like, okay, well, I could cancel anytime, right? It's just crazy that like 5 deliveries a day is nothing for.
Well, I mean, it is only 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you in 2 months and say, how's it going?
Yeah,
And then if you're like 5 orders a week or day,
a day.
I guess that's still if it's as long. I mean, if it's unless those are 5 orders you were already getting.
Yeah.
You know, isn't that?
You see, you're
Yeah.
kind of like,
Am I making the right decision? So did you negotiate your rate with them? Was there any leeway on that?
No, they just told me that that's the rate, and they won't charge me for the first month that rate.
okay.
And
Well,
I'm
that's
like,
nice.
okay, well, we'll see next month.
Yeah. All right. We'll quit next month, and,
Yeah.
and then I'll do a free month of DoorDash.
DoorDash, yeah.
What's been the scariest thing about being an entrepreneur for you?
I guess having to speak in public. People think that it's easy. It's not. It really isn't. And the suffering from anxiety is scary, you know, because you kind of sometimes I need like just to chill one day. And how do you chill with tons of people messaging you and everything? And like sometimes I'm like, that's the scariest part to me. Like, how do people just disconnect? Like, how do I learn that? I don't know how to do that. Even though they're like, you can just put it on do not disturb your phone, and I'm like, what? No, that's not. It doesn't work like that for me. That's my scariest part. You know, always believing in myself is another one. You know, I do, obviously I do, but not 100%. So.
Well, do you have like a good support system that like knocks you on your head sometimes
When
you're feeling down?
Yes, they're right there. Yes, my daughter too. I see her and I have to remind myself, like, dude, she's looking at me. She's looking up to me. She's 17 years old. So.
Does she work at the shop?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter Jessica.
How fun is that? Or frustrating?
Both.
Yeah. Or stressful?
Both.
Yeah.
3, 4.
All 3 of them?
Yeah, she's at the beginning she didn't want to work, and she was like, like not taking stuff serious, and I had to have a big talk with her, and I told her this is gonna be a restaurant one day. You need to learn everything, and if my employees are trying to help you to become greater and better, accept it, you know, and let them know you're right. I need to learn because I will be owner of this one day. You have to change your attitude, you know, because you're never gonna grow. Even if you want to do something later on in life, at least you'll have a lot of experience from this. And I literally had that talk with her, and the next day I was just like, damn, like, you do have it in you to fucking kick ass. Sorry if I cussed.
No, that's perfect. I love it. I do it all the time.
Okay.
What would you say? Like I hear it all the time. People say, fucking kids don't want to work. These kids don't want to work, you know, which is, I think, something people have been saying forever.
Yeah.
You know,
maybe to us too.
yeah, no, I know. Like,
Yeah.
these millennials are so entitled. They don't want to work. And now it's like these Gen Z, like, you can't talk to them. I mean, like, I'm just, like,
It's
what
true,
are they
eh?
saying? They're so sensitive. Like,
Yeah.
like, what, I mean, just because, you know, you must know your daughter's friends, and, like, do any of them work at
I think one of
55?
hers, no.
No.
One of her friends works with a lawyer, but
Oh, wow.
it's very,
okay.
it's very
That's a
different.
different job.
100% different. I mean, my daughter Jessica, now I'm able to leave her doing that on a Friday, Saturday night. She's by herself, you know, and I'm just like,
She's
What?
working the shop by herself?
Like she's in charge of all the.
She's doing front of house management at 17?
No. She's doing
gonna
like
say, that's
fryer. She's doing
awesome.
the cook line. Doing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She won't touch the cashier at all.
She doesn't want to mess with the people?
No. And I'm like, Jess,
Everyone
you
in my
have
restaurant
to.
is like that too.
Yeah.
Keep me away from there. I'll
Yeah.
take care of the food.
I'm like, why? Who cares? I always let my employees know, don't let a customer bully you. Don't ever let them bully you.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're wrong, then let me know, and I'll figure it out, you know. But for now, I'll defend you if you're always telling me the truth. And I'm like, I have cameras. I'll know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, just be honest. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had issues with customers?
In the beginning, I did because we used to have a 2-hour wait.
Yeah,
So
that'll annoy some people.
yeah, it does annoy people. I mean, if you're hangry, shit, I've been there too. You know, where I'm like, what? 2 hours? Like, but they get over it, and we'll give them like something free while they're waiting.
That's the best policy.
Yeah.
Just start giving away the store, and they're like, after they yell at you,
Yeah.
they come back to their senses.
And they're like, I'm sorry, because we're just hungry. And I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
I've been hangry too.
I've been hanging. Yeah. Yeah. Just take out all your aggression on me.
For
Not
real.
your therapist.
Yeah, on
but
me.
I'll just take it. Just give it all to me. I don't have
Yeah.
enough anxiety myself.
For real.
Yeah. I'll just stand here and listen to you, bitch.
Yeah.
Do you let like Yelp reviews get to you?
No. I have a cashier that tells me, did you read the Yelp review? I'm like, nope.
Really?
Yeah.
You just don't read them?
Nope. I don't read them.
Man, that's very smart.
Yeah, no. Just imagine. I'd be like all fucking night, like.
Well, yeah, some
yeah.
people do, like, and you know, like it haunts you.
I read, like in the beginning when I first opened 550, I was like, because we would sell out so much every single day, and people would tell me like, "You're sold out again? What kind of restaurant are you running?"
A good one, because we're sold out.
But Laredo doesn't. They're slowly understanding now. If I'm sold out, hey, I'm sold out. We'll see you tomorrow. That means you have a good product. But at the beginning, it was like, she's always sold out, like this and that. And I would read them and I would be like, I have to come up with a plan. Like, and until one day I said, no, this shit's going to drive me crazy. I'm ready to wild in my mind. So I'm okay not reading those things.
Yeah, well, smart move. I would try to. My dumb ass has like push notifications.
No.
Yeah, I know. I'm like having a good ass time with my wife.
Yes, yeah.
We're on a date, and like, she's like, "Oh hell no, dude! Like, what the fuck are you doing reading a Yelp review right now?"
Yeah, and it like fucking ruins you right there. You're like,
I know I shouldn't. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
No.
Can't please everyone, right?
yeah, nope.
What is your definition of success?
Just to be able to do what you want. Do what you want, do what makes you happy, what you have passion for. And when you're doing it and kicking ass, then there you go. As long as you're happy.
Just be happy.
Just be happy, because it's like super cliche, right? Like we don't know the time on this earth. We don't. We really, really don't. And what I've learned over the past 4 years is like, you're not going to make everybody happy. You know, you have to make yourself happy. And I always think of my daughter like it's Jessica and I first, and that's it. So just be happy in what you're doing. If you have passion for it, shit, kick ass in it then.
Well, if I asked your daughter like how you are as a boss, what do you think she'd say?
I don't know what she would say. She'd be like, "Oh, my mom." I don't know what she would say. She sees me, and she comes up to me sometimes and hugs me, and she's like, "It's okay, Mom." And I'm like, "How do you know I'm tripping out?"
She just knows.
Yeah, she just knows.
I mean, it must be pretty amazing to see somebody like working that hard, you know, and then like you're like working. Not a lot of people get to work side by side their kids, you know.
Yeah.
I think there's like a lot of value in that.
I think not that she's like the most like best kid ever. You know, she does give me her little attitudes.
She's a teenager. So,
of course.
They know everything.
But she does know when I'm feeling not having it, you know.
Yeah.
And she chills me out and she hugs me really tight at work, and I'm like, "Don't make me cry." I'm like, "Thanks, Jessica."
How many people do you have on the team now?
I believe it's 11 or 12.
When you have like employee meetings, do those stress you out, or is it okay because it's only like 11 people?
It stresses me out because fucking hate speaking in public.
Yeah.
And I look at them and I'm like, I'm gonna turn red, okay? I'm gonna turn red, and I might get teary eyed, and they just stare at me, and they're like, okay, whatever.
Just turn around and look at the wall.
I'm like, don't look at me. I tell them, don't look at me.
No, stop looking at me.
Stop looking at me. Yes, I tell them, can you not look at me? Like, look somewhere else, and they're like. But we have a good time, and when I have to get after them, I do. I mean, I don't yell at them, but just tell them hard.
Just hit them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you just.
I get the pizza peel, and I'm like.
Yeah, just. Oh my gosh, I college those peels. All right, let's do a speed round. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. What is the best flour?
I think King Arthur flour.
Nice. Do you have a favorite bag?
The unbleached.
High gluten.
High gluten. Yeah.
Okay. Your favorite tomato?
Roma tomatoes.
Your favorite cheese?
Baccio cheese.
And who's your favorite person in pizza?
Right now, it's Anthony DeSosa.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Shout out Anthony.
Yes. Shout out Anthony.
Okay, and then we're getting close to the final question, but what advice would you give yourself 4 years ago before you opened up 550? Now.
Sitting down on my couch, scared. He remembers sitting back, watching TV and saying, like, how am I going to run a pizzeria? Janet Zapata, how is she going to run this? I would have told myself, get up, girl, because there's so many trials that are coming your way, but you're going to accomplish them, and you're going to keep going, and you're going to do greater things by great people by your side.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, now the most important question of this interview. Are you ready? All right. Who's the greatest artist or band of all time?
I love you, Taylor Swift.
We got a Swiftie. We got a Swiftie. I love when the answer just comes so quickly and somebody's like, oh, man, I'm not going to answer that. Swiftie. That's a true Swiftie. Have you seen Taylor live?
No. Another dream.
Taylor! Oh, my God.
Taylor.
Next month, there you are, front row in Dallas. I just want to bring up one of my favorite Swifties and my favorite pizza from 550. Let's hear it for. You're just like,
I'm like,
it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Does your daughter Jessica like Taylor?
Yeah,
Okay.
she does. Yes.
All right. Well,
Taylor,
Jessica's gonna need a ticket too. Thank you so much for taking your time. I know you're here for a short time, and you walked over here from Expo. Where do we go to get in touch with you?
Instagram or Facebook at 550 Pizzeria, and then you'll see Laredo, Texas. Laredo.
And I like the play on words there.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much.